LATD Nation, welcome back to the channel.
Of course.
Man, we got another special movie review for y'all.
Very, very, very special movie review. One I've been waiting to talk about for a long time.
Same. Today we're going to be looking at the details of James Cameron's Avatar, Fire and Ash that drops on December 19th, 2025.
Yes, sir. It's been quite a wait for this movie. Not nearly as long of a wait as the wait between the first and the second. That being what? From like 2009 to 2022?
Yep.
And I remember seeing it because at the time when I was still working my old job, I remember you had pulled up and me still in my work clothes. We had went to see it in December 3 years ago.
You know the irony?
And now you in your work clothes.
Exactly.
I did notice that too. I was thinking that in the back of my mind. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, no, I had just got off work when we went to go see it. I was just, because I was stuck, we were stuck in traffic all day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Traffic's been bad today.
Yeah. Hopefully everything's good with the people that was on the bridge.
Yeah.
Little side note, if you have mental health issues, please go get help. Seek help.
Most definitely.
We don't have a number for y'all to call, but there's suicide hotlines out there.
Especially around this time of year, it's definitely important that you kind of like take, sort of note of like how you're feeling, things of that nature. This is a very stressful time of year for many people.
Yeah, man. So let's get into the movie. So first off, what were your thoughts, bro?
So first off, going into it, I kind of knew what to expect. I mean, this is the third movie and was supposedly supposed to be 5.
Yeah, about 5 of them.
Yeah, 5. Sometimes it's 5, sometimes it's 6. There's always conflicting reports, but with this being the third movie in this franchise, we've come to know what to expect. The Na'vi versus the humans, the RDA, going to war over the resource. What is it, unobtainium or something?
So the unobtainium was the first one. The second one was they want the Tulkuns, like, I hate to say it like this, but they want the two Tulkuns remains.
Yeah.
So they can, because there's some about their anatomy makes human aging slower, so pretty much makes them immortal.
Something like that. Something along the lines of that. It just seems like Pandora, as far as humanity-wise, aside from the air, seems to be an unlimited benefactor in terms of, like, I guess it just, whatever is in there, whatever is in the DNA, whatever is in the earth, the planet, the spirituality of it, benefits humans in every way, shape, or form, except for the air. That'll kill a human pretty much on impact.
The funniest thing to me is they don't believe in that the trees are like a whole central hub and network for the Na'vi, but yet they believe in in some type of liquid that'll make them immortal.
That's what I'm saying.
That was always weird to me.
They pick and choose what they want to believe when it comes to the Na'vi.
Right, and right off the gate, I honestly think this movie was actually pretty great.
I think so.
Yeah, it's 3 hours, but you don't feel the runtime at all.
Speak for yourself. I was feeling that. For sure.
Yeah,
I felt all 3 hours and 15 minutes for sure. Not saying that as a bad thing. It's just that this movie definitely, for the most part, the pacing, I would say for the first 2/3 of the movie, the pacing is really solid. But towards that third, or really that 80th act, with a movie like this, you don't know. Like, it's a little different as far as an act structure. But, by the end of this movie, I could definitely feel the length. I actually kind of thought that when it got to a certain point, it was going to stop and then the final battle was going to resume with the fourth one. But realistically, that wouldn't have made sense for it to leave off the way it did.
I mean, it could have
yeah,
because,
definitely.
like if they were to lose, they start off with an L and then they kind of rebuild or something like that. But I definitely see what you mean. To me, it never felt boring. That's probably a better way.
Okay, yeah, I can agree with that too.
Like the runtime for me, it kept me engaged the whole time, and the performances was still great as they always are.
Of course.
Like Zoe Saldana, Neytiri, Sam Worthington, Jake Sully, Sigourney Weaver always does a great job. She's one of my favorite actors of all time.
Yeah,
personally.
Sigourney, she don't miss, especially in sci-fi.
But Una Chaplin playing Varong, the main bad guy. Well, secondary antagonist.
Yeah,
secondary antagonist. She was really good.
I think between her and Stephen Lang, they low key sold the show for me. Mm-hmm. As Quaritch, of course, this is his third appearance in the franchise, but this is his second outing as the Na'vi. What do they call it? The recombatant or whatever?
Yeah, Avatar.
Something like that.
Na'vi Avatar.
So as you know, anybody who saw the second one knows that Quaritch, although he died in the first one, in the second one, they have his conscious uploaded somewhere and they download him to a Na'vi avatar. So he comes back to life in that way.
Kind of like how they do with Jake in the first movie, but the difference is his mind gets transferred to his body from a spiritual perspective. While Quaritch is actually, as we knew him in the first, no, he's dead for real. But this is just like a replacement body.
Almost a clone, if you will.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Which I kind of like how they did that, because it's sort of, and we were talking about this earlier, how Quaritch, his story kind of mirrors Jake's in every way, shape, or form. Because Jake became a permanent Na'vi organically through AWA, whereas Quaritch did it scientifically. Did it in a way that's less sanctimonious.
Right. Less sanctimonious?
Or sanctimonious.
You're right, exactly.
Whatever, however you want to go. The point is that it's disgraceful.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a disgraceful way to go about the Na'vi and their culture. It's a complete lack of respect for everything that they are as a people.
And now another plus, when you said about Stephen Lang, let's stay on him. He was actually probably one of my favorite parts of the movie.
He's easily been one of my favorite parts of this entire franchise.
Like, he easily stole the show. Like, in the first one, for me, he was just kind of, I wouldn't say he was just kind of there, but I guess in the way that he was directed, because, he's Stone Cold Colonel. You know what I'm saying? Don't take no mess. Kind of that boring. Not boring.
Generic.
Thank you.
I think he was a very generic villain in the first one. And I think the greatest strengths with the sequels is that they took him as he was and they've elevated him to a genuinely great villain.
Exactly. Because this is the movie where he's the most complex. You see both sides, because he's, as y'all know in the trailers, if y'all watch the trailers, he's becomes a part of the Ash people clan, the Ash clan. And you can see where he's kind of like not necessarily conflicted, but he's more like, oh, these my peoples too. You know what I'm saying?
He starts to kind of question himself as far as where his loyalties lie.
Yeah, exactly. With the RDA or with
very similar to Jake in the first movie.
Exactly, but they do it in such a clever way here that's more complex, and that's why, like I said, he kind of stole the show for me. Anytime he was on screen, Stephen Lang know what he doing.
100%.
That's why I might watch the Don't Breathe movies. But anyway, sidetrack.
Because the back and forth between him and Jake, they've done a good job of making them feel equally matched.
Right.
And I really like how in the movie, no spoilers, of course, Jake is kind of continuing to sort of get him to see a different side of things, potentially sort of see the Na'vi as more than just these people, kind of invest into the culture of it, literally telling him to dig deeper into this world and into this universe, into this culture.
Right.
Because he still sees it in a very surface level way, despite being a Na'vi.
Right. Being able to interact with the world the same way that they do.
Yeah.
And
but not appreciating the culture for what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because in his mind, he's still, this is my job. I have to bring you in. But I mentioned this before. It's funny how if it's ironic that he sees this as his job, but at the same time, how much of this is personal for him? Because he's been killed by, Neytiri, technically. Yeah. He's been killed by them before. But he was killed by Jake in a way before, indirectly. He's been tormented by him in a way, tormented by Neytiri's arrows in the second movie, and in this one, it seems like he can never catch a break when it comes to fighting Jake. But the thing is, how much is this becoming personal?
Because you have his son, Spider.
Oh, thank you. Go ahead.
Who plays a big role. Obviously, we're not going to get too far into spoilers, but continuing where the last one left off, Spider still plays a very prominent role in sort of testing him and where his allegiances lie and what his goals are. Right. And they play on that very well. Also kind of doing the same thing with Jake. As far as Jake, I feel like Spider has more of a role as Jake's son in this movie as opposed to the second one.
Right. And that's another thing. That's probably the biggest thing. He loses, this ain't a spoiler because the second movie, but
yeah, of course.
He loses his son. He loses his own son to Jake as well.
Yeah.
So of course there's a natural animosity there because it's like, you took my life. you took my son away from me. So it's like,
but funny enough, Jake lost his son because of Quaritch.
And that's the crazy thing too, and that's the genius of James Cameron's writing as far as Jake and Miles's and Quaritch's rivalry is concerned. And
I agree with that.
So it's
I think the best character work with these movies is their dynamic and their rivalry.
Yeah, because it's not real. Well, do they hate each other? Yeah.
I think they hate each other, but they have a begrudging. Well, I don't know if I think Jake fully hates him though, because Jake is trying to get him to see another way.
Right.
So I think there's a baseline respect for both on both ends.
Right.
I do think that Quaritch respects him as a Marine and as a warrior, but he doesn't respect his position as far as how the life he's chosen, as far as being part of the Na'vi. But I think Jake obviously doesn't respect him because he's a threat to his family and a threat to his whole way of life. Right. But he respects him as a soldier too. I think that Marine level respect is still there.
Right. No, I 100% agree. Because they definitely hate each other on a personal level.
Oh, for sure. They they've been getting get back on each other the entire trilogy.
Yeah, and exactly. Now to Jake,
and that's what I really like about it. Not to cut you off, I really like how Quaritch seems to be this demon, this enemy that just is forever haunting Jake. It's just always on his ass in some way.
Like, he's probably the best foil to a main character that I've seen in a long time.
I low-key kind of do agree with that, actually.
Because they perfectly marry each other, like you said. Now, on to Jake.
And no spoilers, obviously. The movie is coming out very, very soon, so we're going to give y'all a chance to watch it and see what y'all think. But just one of my issues, before we get to Jake, one of my biggest issues with this movie, though, is that it's very much treads old territory.
Oh, yeah.
I think that these movies have definitely run into being very formulaic. Now, I don't mind it right now for the most part because they do enough with each movie to differentiate the formula. And I think with the second one, they kind of were able to get away with it because it had been so long since the first one that it was like, okay, they're just building, they're bringing the world back. They're reintroducing us to these characters, to this environment. But now with the third one is sort of running into the risk of, okay, these movies are all the same now. If the fourth one comes out and it follows a very similar path, then we can kind of start having these conversations. But for right now, it is a very samey plot, but it's still enjoyable nonetheless.
Right. I 100% agree. I think but that was a flaw for me as well. But to give it a little bit of grace, I like that it's a combination of the first movie, take elements of the first movie and the second movie and kind of combines them together. Definitely. Like how it took place in the sky, it took place in the water, and now the final battle takes place on all three planes.
For sure. So they're kind of bringing everything full circle, everything that they've used and learned throughout this entire franchise. Of course, Jake being Toruk Makto is what it is.
Toruk Makto.
Yeah, well, however you pronounce it. I don't speak Na'vi, but regardless.
Yeah, me neither.
Jake coming back, leading all the tribes with his Banshee.
Mm-hmm.
Toruk. Yeah, exactly. I never get tired of seeing that.
Yeah, I agree. I like the triumphant roar at the end too. Like,
facts, exactly.
Well, I mean, but no, I 100% agree with you as far as that being a flaw. But I agree. Also agree. It didn't really bother me too much, but it is kind of formulaic.
Because now, especially since it's only been 3 years since the last one, it hasn't been so long that there's enough time to give it a little bit of leniency.
Right. Now, I hope that in order to change that, I hope the RDA isn't as big of a
presence.
Of a I
feel like they low-key are kind of starting to be sidelined as antagonists. Because obviously Quaritch is still working with them, working through them. But to be real, Quaritch is more interesting than anything that any of them have to say or do to begin with. True. Because they had the general in there, didn't care about her.
Dude, she was barely in the last movie.
I even knew her name, to be honest with you.
I don't think we knew really much of any of the names.
Be real with you.
I
don't care.
I remember that. I forgot bro's name. Yeah, Giovanni Ribisi. He was in the movie too.
Yeah.
I forgot his name. Parker. His name is Parker.
I forgot all about him. I forgot about his name, honestly.
Yeah, I forgot his name too. That's why I literally looked at the computer cause it's like
he doesn't factor in much if you ask me.
I mean,
but not really.
No, not at all. Not really. Yeah, I agree. Because I even forgot how he even got there. But I remember now that I forgot he was even still alive. But
low key, yeah.
But then I remember that.
How did he survive all of this?
But then at the end of the first movie, they sent them back home, and then I guess when they came back in the second movie,
packing, and then they come back again a decade later. Imagine
with the whole
determined that you come back a whole decade later after you were forced to pack up. You remember at the end of the first movie, the Na'vi was standing there, guns in hand, saying, "Yeah, get your ass home."
Right,
and then they come back.
And that's the thing. Still as young as they are. Well, cryo sleep and everything.
But what I also don't understand is like, how did the Na'vi allow for them to come back and build again? That's the thing I never understood.
And see, that's another. Okay, I agree with that too, because that's another flaw that I kind of have. Is like. They have
them to come back and rebuild after it took that you had to fight them tooth and nail to get rid of them.
Maybe it's in like the expanded media though. Maybe it's in like tie-in comics and stuff like that on how they came back and started rebuilding again. Because I think I do have the comics on Avatar. I just haven't read much of them, so I think
there might be more to yeah.
So maybe that isn't much of a flaw, but still, I agree. Now they got a whole press there, and like the human race. Isn't Earth gone at this point?
Yeah,
you know
Earth
what I'm saying?
Destroyed.
So it's like press, human race.
They're more worried about news, and then they got the news broadcast in the station, and it's just kind of like, who are you broadcasting to?
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, ain't no people on Earth no more. like if anything, I wouldn't be surprised if there was the last remaining population of what Earth is.
I wouldn't be surprised if this is the last of humanity.
Now, if they were to say that, I wouldn't mind that. Yeah. I wouldn't mind that whatsoever. They would say this is the last of humanity, giving them some sympathy. You know what I'm saying? But other than that,
I mean, it just feels so surface level.
Yeah, I agree. So I hope in the next movie the RDA doesn't play much of a factor in the plot, and they keep it mostly strictly between the Ash people and Ash people Quaritch, and it also to change it up some, because everything doesn't have to end with a huge gargantuan climactic battle like the last.
Because you only do that so many. Because by the fourth movie, especially if there's supposed to be a fifth after, they gotta change it up at some point.
Yeah, they definitely do. I'd say kind of taking it into horror territory, because the Ash people themselves were probably
scary.
Yeah, they were like, I think they're gonna.
Wrong is definitely like, and because I had made a comment to you when we were watching the movie.
Right.
They did a good job of bringing her to life, because the mole catcher, like, what they did with the eyes and whatnot, like she just like, I don't know what it is, something about the effect, but you can see in her face, like she's pure evil, like she just is sinister, like in her eyes.
I think in the further movies we'll get more info about them.
I hope so.
Like, I hope so too, man.
Because that's kind of one thing that I think was also missed opportunities. We didn't get enough of like what the motives of the Ash people were, why they're fighting against other Na'vi clans and stuff like that.
Right, yeah, exactly.
I would
I understand
why.
Yeah, it's like I understand why they don't they don't worship Awa, but why does that make them evil? You know?
Yeah, I think that's definitely something they could explore down the line.
Now they were to say like other clans like plundered them and everything like that, and saw them as less than, and they're like lower class. Okay, I can see I can see that.
Spit on them and stuff like that. So they're just getting their get back.
Exactly. But now on to Jake.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. I definitely want to hear what you got to say on this.
I love Jake as a character.
Yes,
he's cool. Sam Worthington puts his foot in this role, as all of them do.
He has to, because I mean, do you see him in anything else? No disrespect to him.
Yeah, what is he in it? Like, let me see.
He was in Terminator Salvation, but that was 2009.
Who?
Matter of fact, that was 2009. I think it was the same year.
He was right. He was in Clash of the Titans.
Yeah, that's right.
Terminator Salvation, Wrath of the Titans, Hacksaw. He was in Hacksaw Ridge.
Yeah, matter of fact, he was.
And that's really about it. All I know, other than the Avatar movies. But anyway, God bless him. He's
getting his paycheck though.
Yeah, definitely though. This is about to make another $1 billion at the box office.
Easy $billion.
Like this is a Thursday night we went to see this, man. And the whole auditorium was packed
for a 3-hour movie. You don't see that very often nowadays.
Exactly. Sam Worthington is a good actor though.
He is, for sure.
So I think he should get a little bit more roles than he does. In my opinion.
If you notice that a lot of these human actors in the movies, to me, it seems like most of these actors have faded in, and not to disrespect them, but a lot of them aren't really as prominent today as they were back in 2009 when this movie first came out. So they kind of sort of living with this franchise, which that's not a bad way to go because it's a multi-billion-dollar franchise.
Yeah, it's the same case with the Fast and Furious franchise. You don't see Vin Diesel in nothing else really other than Pitch Black, if that. Triple X, which flopped.
That was years ago.
And that was years ago. All you really see him in is in Fast and Furious, but that ain't a bad thing either.
Same those thing movies with Liam Michelle.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, as I was saying about Jake, I love his character. He's a great character. Sam Worthington does a good job. But also as a character, as a dad, this man is a piece of shit. This man is a flat out asshole, and he's like because it's established in the second movie that he's like this. You know, he sees his sons as his sons, like he loves his children. Of course, but he's so focused on the war with the RDA, it's like that clouds his judgment on how to treat them and talk to them. Of course, he loves his daughters, treat them, but he's very much that stereotypical macho dad that's like, hey, my sons ain't gonna be no punks. You know what I'm saying?
And I can almost understand that to a degree because he is a Marine, so that's kind of how he was brought up, most likely. But I wish that was elaborated on a little bit more because a lot of the characterization around Jake as a father is like he's just an asshole for the sake of being an asshole.
I won't say that.
To a degree. When it comes to his sons, he's on their ass. When it comes to Loak, he's on his ass.
Yo, because well.
But to be fair, Loak did kind of.
Yeah, he's kind of the fuck up of the group. Like if we, I hate to say it, he's kind of the screw up of the two. He gets in a lot of stuff he ain't supposed to.
Nadium was definitely sort of the favorite son.
Oh yeah. Nataeum was definitely the favorite son. Like he was the second in command, third in command.
He was the oldest son.
Yeah, he was the
oldest child. Matter of fact.
Yeah, he was the oldest. Loak is the second, and then or maybe Kiri is the second son. Either way, but like as a father, like Jake, like I said, Jake isn't a terrible father, but he borderlines it.
I like that. It seems like. Because the thing is that he's learned how, because the first movie was all about him learning how to be one with the Na'vi, learning how to be Toruk Maktu. This movie, Makto, and this movie and the movie that came before it is more so him learning how to be a father.
Right.
Learning how to be a father and take that next step in his journey because he's a warrior before. Knew how to be a warrior, but now he's trying to learn how to be a father. Right. And be a leader of a tribe at that too.
Exactly.
So in that regard, there's a lot of stress on him. There's a lot of pressure for him to fulfill that role, not just as a father, but as a warrior and a leader. I just kind of wish that they elaborated that and maybe explored that a little bit more thoroughly.
Well, I don't think they could. Okay, in what way?
In the sense that they could have put more of an emphasis on the grief that the family is feeling and him pretty much trying to step into that role of still being a leader and doing what's best for the good of everybody as a leader of the clan, but also still having that sensitivity as a father and understanding Loak's grief because Loak still feels guilty as it's established in the first scene of the movie, which again, no spoilers. You see that he still has that sense of guilt for his brother's death. He still has that sense of responsibility, like this was on me. And I think that there should have been more compassion on Jake's part displayed with that. Right. If you ask me.
Right. Because
that's me personally.
No, I can agree with that too. Because at the end of the movie, end of the last movie, he hugs him and embraces him like, oh, okay, they're gonna be better now. Like kind of like Kratos and Atreus at the end of God of War 4. Yeah. But nah, they kind of throw that out the window and they're kind of back to square one, which I get, but I wouldn't establish that be him saying in my boys in the last movie, just to like acting like it's all good, but when in actuality it wasn't never really all good.
Yeah. You know, it's always been a sense that Loak is kind of the one that struggles to catch up.
Right, yeah. He's kind of the one, but no, I don't even say all that. He even really struggled. Like, he don't really try. And in the second movie, he kind of didn't. He was kind of more of that free spirit,
do his way.
Yeah, exactly.
So they mirror. But the funny thing is like as I was watching the movie and it was going along, I was like, he literally is the spitting image of his father.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's
and
the funny thing.
And I like how Neteum is more the spitting image of his mom, of Neytiri, because definitely. Same name starts off the same way, Ney. Yeah. And on top of that, he's more how the Na'vi look traditionally with the 4 fingers, while Lo'ak has 5. He looks like his mom in a lot of ways, the shorter hair with the hair slicked back, while Lo'ak has those longer dreads, kind of like how Jake does.
And I think he has the side cut too. I think he have it.
No, I don't think so. I don't like.
He has something like that. I think he has like a slight undercut.
Maybe.
But Jake, he got locks, and his son and
also
Lo'ak still has like his hair out. Or his hair loose.
Right, and with the cut on the side too, which is kind of fire. I'm not even gonna lie. The little fade.
Sure,
I ain't gonna lie. I want to see what a fade looks like a black hairstyle fade. Like a black
Jake's design's been tough.
I agree.
Sure.
Bro,
for sure he's been putting I mean, obviously they're Na'vi, so they're not in the fact, but he been putting that shit on. His military gear, especially when he really gears up for war for real.
Exactly. And then the dreads make him look intimidating when they all down and stuff.
And
I agree.
Got the war paint on, man. What?
Man, he be killing the game. But I would definitely agree. I see why you say that though.
Yeah,
I understand. Like personally for me, it didn't really bother me because I kind of got where it was coming from. Where they were coming from as far as like Jake is still grieving. I'm glad they started off the movie like they did though.
Okay.
It's to signify that not much time has passed, you know?
Yeah, it's like
this literally probably like the next day.
I think so, yeah. That's another thing I wanted to highlight. This movie starts immediately after what had happened, to the point to where Quaritch's wounds are still fresh from the last movie.
Exactly. So I really did like that. And it's like, and I like the direction that they did take Jake and Lo'ak's story to a degree. I hate that it happened the way that it did, you know, but from a storyboard perspective. The biggest another thing, Neytiri is essentially the same.
That I agree. That she isn't really. That's one thing I did notice myself. That her characterization really hasn't changed much at all, other than the fact that she's grieving as a mother.
Right.
But other than that.
She's still
basically the same.
Yeah, she's still that hard nose. Don't take no shit. She don't really want to be here, and don't really want to be here. But she's here for her family. But she learns to love Spider eventually and everything. That might be a spoiler. I'm not sure, but
I mean, it was established to a degree that she didn't really much care for him for the fact that
because he's Quaritch's son.
She feels that he's responsible for her son's death.
In a way.
Yeah,
I see why she would think that, but also not like Spider is another character that I loved in this movie too. I didn't care for him at first.
Low-key, Spider might be the most interesting of the human or of the children. Low-key,
yeah, like his
they're
story.
all interesting in their own way, but I think Spider low-key might be the standout one. At least the one that has the most layers to it.
Most layers, and on top of that, he's more intelligent. He thinks more than Lo'ak does. But like I said. But like we were saying,
charismatic.
He's more charismatic too. But Lo'ak, man, I felt terrible for Lo'ak in this movie.
Yeah, he couldn't. He's like, you know, where it's like you can't do nothing right at work. He can't do nothing right in life.
That's how it seemed. Because the thing is,
and his dad was right there to remind him of it too.
Right? Yeah. I don't want to spoil nothing, but when y'all see the movie, y'all will understand.
Facts.
I don't want to say what was said, but there's a really heavy scene involving Lo'ak that almost got me.
Yeah,
and it's sure. And like we said earlier in the video, you know, please, mental health is an important thing. So
very much so.
But yeah, Lo'ak didn't like. I don't think Lo'ak is kind of a screw up. He does get in a lot of bull crap. He's definitely the black sheep, but he doesn't deserve half the ridicule. I don't think he deserves much of the ridicule that he gets. He deserves some, but he deserves
chastising. But I don't think he deserves damn near like being shunned.
Yeah,
almost looked at like this is all we in this because of you.
Like I'm like
it's almost like Jake in a way almost doesn't take accountability as a man, as a father, and as a man. If you ask me,
you kids at the that's a good point because at the end of the day, Jake is the one who kind of got them into this.
And you raised the father. You the man.
Exactly. And you raise your sons to be soldiers.
That's literally what I think. That's a matter of fact. That's what they said in the second one, isn't it? Something to that effect.
Something like that. Either way,
you're raising them to be soldiers for sure.
Exactly. All they say, they talk in a lot of marine lingo and a lot of code words and everything, and like eagle eye, whoop wop the wham, and it's just like, yeah, bro, but I also like that they add that in the story too. You know, to say that this ain't really all much of Loak's fault as it is Jake's fault, because it's like, you're the one who waged this war on these people, but if they didn't, the way of life would have been gone, and that's the whole complexity of the story and why I think this world is so great, is as great as it is.
I agree with that. I 100% agree with that. But my only thing is that I feel with all of this stuff, a lot of this stuff feels more like it's open for interpretation, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, than it is 100%. That's for sure what Cameron was going with. I think that there's more room for a deeper exploration of some of these themes that they work with. Because as much as I like these movies, they really are spectacle. For spectacle's sake, in the sense that it's more about the visual effects and it's more about the world than it is about really fleshing out a lot of these ideas, which isn't a bad thing. But I think that in terms of the way they've been doing it for these past three, I think that going forward, in order to really shake things up, I think the fourth one needs to be more of an exploration of like deeper stuff,
Lord,
like deeper character work, deeper, more slower moments. I think the second one to me probably had more of that, to be honest with you.
I definitely agree, especially with the Metkayina people.
Yeah.
Another little flaw that I had with the movie though is that they had a lot of plots and they handled them well.
They had a lot of plot points.
But they closed them. So that's a plus. But for me, watching it, it was kind of like sometimes you forget about certain plot points.
Yeah.
It's like they jump here, they jump there, they jump here, they jump there, and it doesn't flow as seamlessly as I would have liked it to.
I agree with that.
But like I said, they do close a lot of the plots though. They don't leave any plot holes open. Yeah, man. But other than that, I didn't have much bad to say about this movie.
Me neither. These movies, in my opinion, are some of the last real blockbuster films that, as a franchise at least, that gets people excited, gets people wanting to go to the theater despite everybody always seemingly denying the impact that Avatar has on pop culture.
Right.
Because it's like, how are these movies, nobody like them, but they consistently be the highest grossing movie of each year that they come out.
Right. Like, it definitely, and this is the type of movie that a lot of people complain about not having.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because we always talk about how the film industry isn't producing as many blockbusters, as many hits and stuff like that. But then when you get something like this, you're like, oh man, Avatar ain't really on nothing.
Right, yeah.
Avatar, it's just a fun time at the movies, man. What happened when we could just suspend our disbelief and just go have just an adventure?
Oh, it's just another movie trope.
With the blue people.
And he survived that? He legit survived that? Like, bro.
When did we become so cynical that we can't enjoy something like this? Right. I think that's why this movie in 2009 was probably a lot more appreciated back then than maybe today.
Right.
Because now the internet is so critical of every single thing that comes out that it's like we've lost the ability to suspend our disbelief. But for me personally, I haven't lost that. I enjoyed this movie very much. I'm looking forward to the fourth.
What would you give it out of 10?
Me personally, I give it a 7.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
Really? Yeah, I give it a 7.
I ain't gonna lie. This was extreme high heat for me. I give it an 8.5.
Yeah, I give it about a 7. I might have to readjust that, but for right now, 7.5.
Yeah, why? Okay, why is that?
Because again, it's still great, but I am a little bit more critical of how much the plot is starting to be recycled.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's getting to that point with me to where this movie wasn't a disappointment by any stretch of the imagination. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. It was everything I wanted to be. It's everything I was necessarily expecting. And I think that going into the fourth and the fifth, I kind of want my expectations to be shook up a little bit more.
Yeah, I agree.
I wanted to do things that surprise me a little bit more.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think, like I said, I think this was a good way to bring it all full circle.
Yeah.
With the big battles at the end, and that's cool. But I definitely agree with you. Like, it needs to be shaken up a tad bit more, and the plot development. Like make it and change up the tone too. Don't make everything so bright and beautiful. Make it. Let's see how beautiful the nighttime can be. Let's see how beautiful, how scary and eerie the ash people can be. I want to see a little bit more horror element to it. I ain't gonna lie.
And the funny thing is that when I read the plot synopsis of this, and it said that it was gonna be them grieving the death of Neteyam. Yeah, there you go. I thought that this was going to be more of a somber, more dour sort of grieving type of movie, and it was.
But it's the same tone.
But it was, but not really. It was there, but it wasn't all the way there.
Right. I agree. I 100% agree.
And so going forward, I would like to see them do things a little bit more differently, shake up the formula. But overall, still a formula that works for me very well. Mm-hmm. This is the type of movie that I always love to see because we don't get too many nowadays where, again, it's just a good old-fashioned, fun blockbuster movie. So I would definitely recommend seeing it. It's definitely worth the price of admission.
Most definitely. But with that being said, man, I've been Jay.
This has been Rodney.
We're LATD. We hope you enjoyed the video. We have more videos to come. Stay tuned. Maybe another vlog on the way.
For sure.
Yes, sir. With that being said, y'all be safe. Look at the details. God bless y'all. Peace.